Race number 5 then, the first of 4 races on the turf. We go 5, 6, 7 and 8. This is a Class 4 over the 1200 metres, headed by Soaring Tower. Impressive when winning on debut for Chris So. Sha Tin in the saddle. Zach Purton, hadn't mentioned before, not riding on Sunday. Excellent chariot last start's winner, Monster Car. Probably first up here, and he drops to the 14 back to the 1200 metres. Packing Miles gets a start, debutant, along with Our Golden Rules, Sight Hero and Star of Wu Yi, the 4 debutants in the field. Vector disappointing on his first start. We're in the market behind Super Red Dragon, and down to All Best Friends. Tony Picone in the saddle from Barrier 2 for Manfred Mann. Packing Miles, Sight Hero, 2 of the first starters, and Vigor Champ, Tom of the horses that have been up at Chungfa.
Yeah, so 4 on debut in this race, and Voyage Star, he's a horse that likes to go forward, gate 9, although he is hard to catch. Blake Shin rides. Vector, he was up front last time out. We'll see that shortly with what happened to him. Maya Static should get a nice run out of gate 3. Excellent chariot there. Our Golden Rules, Star of Wooey on the 3 wide line there with one of the other newcomers who was Packing Miles, who wears saddlecloth number 4. Soaring Tower, I should say, for Sha Tin from gate 10. We'll have to go back and look to be running on at the end.
You had to be impressed with the debut run of Soaring Tower. It was a really nice run from this horse. He's up. He's got to carry the big weight in the wide draw, but he stays in Class 4, so that's a positive there. And the horse hasn't taken a backward step. He's been working really nicely since. Excellent chariot down the back straight. Now he came to Sha Tin for the first time and won. So this will be a second run at Sha Tin. So even work for him down the back, as you can see. He's a horse who's not being pushed out. Barrier 4, so. He should get his opportunity from that draw. And here's one of the first starters, and that's Packing Miles. Now, he's 1137 pounds. He's had 3 trials to get him ready. Has drawn barrier 12. Pushed out a little bit, I thought, in his end of his work. But as a first start, I wanted to show him. OK, we'll have a look at some of the others as well in due course. Let's start off, though, with Soaring Tower. Most impressive winner first up. His trainer is Chris So.
The first run, I think, is very impressive, because it's the first start. Well, on that day, that's what I studied. The races, is quite a bit strong, honestly. But finally, we win the race, and he impressed, also. Yeah. So, the horse is after the race is doing well. Everything is good. Recover really quick. And everything just step by step. Just as usual. Yeah.
Has he always shown you above average ability on the track here in the mornings before that first run?
Yeah, that's why this question a lot of people asking, because it's the ISG. I think it's for me I think it's because the virus last year start. He's supposed to be a bit early for the auction, but I think because the virus that's why they postponed the auction date. So maybe a couple of months. They did a lot of work on him. I think it's helped a lot. And also when we get him, we monitor in the morning. It's quite easy, straightforward horses. That's why we asked the owner to try to buy that one. Finally, we are lucky. We picked the right one. And everything is doing right. And it's pretty straightforward.
He's drawn barrier number 10. What will be the instructions to Sha Tin from there?
Yeah, I think it's not the ideal draw, but the way seems like yeah, we will study with the jockey and let's see. I think we have not much choice but we'll see maybe a bit quiet and hit hit the line, but I think it's not the ideal draw, but I think he should perform well also.
And with this horse, Soaring Tower, what sort of future do you think he has? Is he a sprinter? Is he a miler? How much more improvement as well do you think he's got?
For this moment, I think hard to tell. But for this moment, I think maybe 12 and 14. I think is suit for him. But the way he seems like a quite laid back. This horse, I think in future, maybe he can go further.
Interestingly, he's not actually favoured at this stage. We'll have a look at the horse that is in due course, but I was very taken with that win of Soaring Tower. Next up for us is Excellent Chariot, Tom. This is his last start win over the 1200 metres, beating Diamond Pegasus on just his 4th start.
Yeah, interesting, he's put on 27 pounds since his last start win here as well. He was just behind the speed. In the end, it was quite easy. He'd been consistent prior to that with 3 fifth placings around Happy Valley. Brought him to Sha Tin, Paul, and he went super well, and he's trialled nicely at Happy Valley again since too.
Yeah, look, he was really well balanced here, and he ran away for a really nice win. So he obviously likes it here at Sha Tin, 1 from 1 now. I've included him as well. I think he's going well.
All right, he'd certainly have to be one of the main players. But this horse is our current favourite at this stage. After finishing 10th first up, Paul, he was well in the market as well. Super Red Dragon wins the race, but what was he undoing? Just going a little bit too hard early?
Yeah, I think it was just experience. I mean, him and Rhapsody there on the outside got into a speed battle and they both dropped out of the race. So I think that was the key. You could see that there. Now, as they come in, you can see them both dropping off and then the sweepers came right into it. So I think he's worth a forgive for that. His trial and his work leading into it had both been really good.
He'd gone round at 3.9 as well. He'd trialled really well prior to that. Just those first two sections were inside standard enough to undo them both in the straight, but I'd be willing to follow him in again, Victor.
All right, well, he's nearly even money favourite at this stage. There's plenty of people would agree with that. Tom Packing Miles makes his debut, shooting to win 4-year-old for Danny. Show me well, blinkers and a tongue tie as well.
He had 4 trials in New Zealand with Shane Crawford. He's come up with an awkward gate 12. He was 190,000 out of the New Zealand bloodstock yearling sale. He's had 3 trials here in Hong Kong, and 9th, the 7th around Happy Valley, and this win up at Chung Fa. Sometimes hard to get a line on these trials here. He's in the red cap on the outside, but he seemed to be going to the line okay there, Paul.
Yeah, he wasn't really pushed out, was he? And as you say, it's hard to get a line, and some of these are like jump outs, these trials. Look, I'm happy to watch him on debut here in this race.
OK, 2 more debutants here. Sight Hero and Our Golden Rules. Probably signing with Sight Hero on what I've seen so far, Paul.
Yeah, definitely. He's a big horse, this one. He's 12.63 pounds. He's had 6 trials to get him ready, so he's had plenty of experience. Cheek Pieces will go on debut. He was on the shortlist for me, didn't just quite make it in the end. Our Golden Rules is 11.54 pounds, and he's had 4 trials to get him ready. Of the 2, definitely Sight Hero.
Yeah, Sight Hero had the six trials in total, 4 of them up at Chung Fa. Was with Robert Hickmond in Australia. Did run second in a trial at Cranbourne. Was pushed out there in that trial on the all-weather you saw there, but did respond okay, but didn't quite get him in.
All right, he's nearly 20 to 1. The other one, Our Golden Rules, nearly 150 to 1. He's the outside of the field, Paul, but Vector, favourite, 2.2.
Yeah, I haven't got him on top. I'm going to stick with Soaring Tower. I think Soaring Tower is a horse whose game places, stays in the grade. He's got to carry the big weight with the wide draw. So if he does win this, which I think he can, we're going to see plenty of him here in Hong Kong. Victor, look, he's a forgive, I think, from that last start. We'll see if he can bounce back in this. Excellent Chariot. He's in there for 3rd, 1 from 1 at Sha Tin. And Mike Static, another one went out short price favourite on debut, 2.1 on the day meeting at Happy Valley. Everything went wrong for that horse on that occasion as well. He did have blood in the trachea as well, so there was a double excuse for him. So I want to give him another chance. 1925.
Very similar numbers to Paul. I do like the 1 and 9 though. On top is Soaring Tower. I think he can just about go back to back. Gate 10's not ideal, but if he gets a good tempo to run out, he'll be right there. Vector, he was up on the pace last time out, but weak in My Static. Paul touched on him, and I throw in one of the first starters, Star of Rui, who is $7.5 million out of the ISG sale, half to a Group 1 winner in Australia, the South Australian Derby. Volatile Mix, who was a Pentai gelding. Interested to see how he goes. I thought he did trial well 2 back, and he did miss the start last time out, but stayed at the back. 1, 9, 5 and 8.
Soaring Tower for me as well. Keep it simple. I think you can go 2 from 2. Chris Caris Teton in the 5th.